Thanks for staying with us on SABC News. So the Eastern Cape Education Department says it's not yet ready to phase in other grades. Let's go to my colleague Yanga Funani for more. A very good afternoon to you, Yanga. The province not welcoming back grade R, 6 and 11. Why?
Well, good afternoon, Zinga. The province, in the ungodly hours of yesterday, released a statement that they were seeking a deviation from the basic education department. What this means is that they would actually be applying instruction 37, which in turn means that grades R3, 6 and 11 will not be phased back into school. Now, this is done in accordance with a study which was conducted by the provincial government seeking to establish whether they are in a position to really phase back those grades. Now, one will remember that at least 900 schools in the province are in no condition to welcome back the learners to study again until the end of August. Now, this has also been supported by the ANC Alliance. One will remember that the SABC has been reporting that the alliance, the ANC Alliance, which is made of SACP, COSATU, SANCO, and various movements within the ANC and unions, had met last week Monday. Part of their meeting was informed by the state of COVID-19 in the province. One would remember that at least 20 teachers in this province of ours have died because of COVID infections. So this has called for them to intervene. Now, what we know for sure is that schools that are in a position to welcome back learners who are doing other grades such as grade 3, 6 and 11 have been given permission, have not been barred from doing so, especially if they meet the COVID-19 restrictions. So that's what is happening here in the Eastern Cape in Zinga.
Do we have an idea of when the schools that are not ready will be able to proceed?
Well, there are two ideas here in Zinga which are really contesting. One is that the grades which we spoke about must be rephased back into the system by the 20th of June, while SATU is contending that the province has no capacity really to welcome back these grades. What should really happen? The month of July should really be used for planning purposes to ensure that by the end of winter, students who were really sent home in fear that they could contract the COVID-19 virus, the department would have time to plan and so put in place strategies that will be able to combat the spread of COVID-19 in schools. One will remember that the infrastructure backlog in the Eastern Cape alone requires an amount of over 60 billion to address. Now, with the current budget, it will take nothing less than 20 years. These are the submissions of the department. So it's really a tricky situation to balance in Zinga.
Yanga, it's day 102 of the lockdown, so it's not a surprise, I'm sure, to the Eastern Cape Education Department that there's going to be challenges and there's going to have to be mitigation measures in place. Do we know if, while they are in that planning phase, what are the plans to make sure that children in the Eastern Cape who are affected do not get left further behind because of the digital divide and the fact that they are staying home even now?
Well, Zinga, one of the plans the Provincial Education Department has introduced is the virtual learning. Now, that on its own presents its own problems because connectivity in this rural province of ours is really an issue. Now, the interim measures that have been in place is that some of the learners are receiving their tasks or assignments through apps on their phones. Now, the provincial department says that these are just structural challenges which they are willing to combat. Now, one analyst we spoke to said that what the department is actually planning to do, but it hasn't really come to the fore as to confirm if these are really true or false. They said that what they'll do is that they will reopen in September while they will ensure that learning continues up until the next year. Grades will be fused into, for instance, if a learner was doing grade 3, their curriculum will be fused into one with the curriculum of grade 4 next year when they reopen. But these are at this point sensitive grounds to navigate, as the department has not really confirmed them to be through.
So Yanga Funani giving us an update from the Eastern Cape. Horrific numbers there. 60 billion rand infrastructure backlog in the Eastern Cape, which Yanga says at this point will take 20 years at least to resolve. We'll keep on following up on that story and what's happening there.